So I'm going to be a facilitator for this session. Jordan and Leona will be leading. If you keep an eye on chat, I will be putting some additional things in there. We just had a couple more people come on, so I'll continually put the check-in link in there. The check-in is for you to get registered to be counted for this session. We'll send out passports at the end of our summit with the stamped sessions that you joined live. And then, of course, those that register or that check in will be registered for our daily giveaway. So throughout this session, if you have any questions at all, please place them into chat and I can answer you on the side. You're more than welcome to do it publicly, or you can private message me if you feel like you need to. And then some of the questions I'll definitely ask maybe Leona and Jordan to go over further if it's something that we feel like would definitely be good for everyone to hear. So feel free to ask me any questions. We love that kind of interactive engagement. And if you're asking the question, chances are someone has that same question that wants to be answered. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Leona.
All right, thank you, Kellen. And again, Kellen is from our marketing team, and I appreciate her joining us this morning. Also, the session is being recorded, so if you happen to miss anything, Kellen, you want to talk about when they'll be posted as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, all the sessions from last week and this week are recorded. What we're going to do is just once everything's over and we get them, all pretty and edited down, we're just going to post them. We're probably going to make a landing page on the website and have them all posted. That way everyone can have access to all of the recordings, even if they weren't able to get on live. So we will, we'll post that. It'll probably be posted next week. So we have time to get that done.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All
right.
Absolutely. Let me welcome everyone to our Fall 2020 Virtual Summit. My name is Leona Gray, and we also have Jordan Ayers, and we both are in the capacity of curriculum and instruction specialists here at Classworks. And we, again, are excited to have you join us this morning. All right, so today we will be walking you through using your learning management system effectively. So the question starts with why is it important to have an effective instruction added to your learning management system? An LMS is a shell that holds your virtual instruction and tools. Think of it as a house, and it is where your virtual instruction and tools live. It is important that students have high quality tier 1 lessons to ensure that they're grade level ready and proficient and prepared for what they'll see on their end of year assessments. With various LMS features, everything you use in the classroom can and should be uploaded into your LMS. This ensures that there's equity for all students, whether they're at home, at school, or hybrid learning.
Mm-hmm. And our goal today is to talk through how to create a really dynamic online lesson. We can effectively use technology to create a lesson that's engaging and helpful. Your students won't miss a beat no matter where they are. So we're going to look at all the various elements that can be added to your learning management system to ensure your students are receiving high quality instruction. In addition to Classworks instruction, you can also add everyday classroom resources that you use, such as anchor charts, editable worksheets, and recorded mini lessons. So we're going to really think through how exactly you would go about planning a lesson in the classroom, but upload it virtually.
That's right, Jordan. First, we want you to know that Classworks makes using your LMS super easy. Your learning management systems have been on our minds a lot during this school year, and we're excited to talk to you today about how easy it is to set up a high quality lesson for your students using your chosen LMS. We work with all learning management systems, and here are just a few that we cover: Schoology, Google Classroom, Canvas, Blackboard, Brightspace, and many more. Today, we're going to look at embedding instruction into Google Classroom and Schoology. As many of you know, Classworks has over 7,000 activities and more than 1,500 hours of direct instruction. And that's great because the content is all designed to link into your LMS. So essentially everything stays in the same place. So now that we have worked, we work with your LMS, let's begin planning our lesson. And we're going to start with the end in mind. This is a great place to break out the placing guide and identify what standard focus you have for the week. It's also important to think through the big picture with an LMS. Remember, instruction is just one element. So some questions to ask yourself might be, what resources will be beneficial for student success? Or what are some familiar ways that your students find help? All of these components can be added to your learning management system.
Yeah, and I want to back up here just for a moment. That's a lot of instruction that you mentioned, Leona. More than enough to definitely get you through this school year. So let's take a deeper look at our classroom and Classworks instruction. And in Classworks, you may be really familiar with our individualized learning plans. In addition to that, we also have two different types of standards aligned instruction. We have our classroom instruction and custom instruction. And our classroom instruction is great for supplemental tier 1 and can be used for whole group instruction or small teacher-led groups, while our custom instruction is made up of instructional units that are great for engaging independent work time. So to begin aligning instruction, we're gonna, of course, first look at our classroom instruction, that rigorous tier 1, right? So you may have attended our Joanne and I's tier 1 session last week. This is a great starting place if you're not really familiar with our classroom instruction. And as Kellen mentioned, we'll be in a loading page on classworks.com. So keep a lookout for that if you'd like to know more about our classroom instruction that we're going to cover today. Okay, so as Leona mentioned, let's start with the end in mind. And you've identified your standard for the week using your pacing guide. Now the next step of where you want to go is it's time to start aligning instruction. So we actually have a standards document, and where you're going to go to access our standards document is help.classworks.com. I always encourage you to bookmark this, help.classworks.com, and you can just search standards document. And once you search that standards document, you can see we have one for integrated reading and applied mathematics. I'm going to launch integrated reading for our first example today. And down below, you can see all of our various documents. This really is helpful. And there's Kellen. So I have that standard that I really want to focus on. And here in this document, I'm able to pinpoint exactly which passage and which question covers that standard, right? So I can see the unit name, which is going to have our genre, our Lexile level, as well as the title. So however you would like to use this, there's very many various ways to use these reading passages. So for this specific week, I'm going to be focusing on character traits, standard RL 5.3, and in question 4 in passage 5.4, an unexpected vacation covers this, so it works perfectly for that to be my focus for the week. All right. So now let's go and launch that passage. So all of our classroom instruction lives in that instruction tab. And down below, you can see, applied math and elementary science and integrated reading, all of these various grade levels that we cover. So I'm going to launch here an unexpected vacation. I'm going to press start. So all of our integrated reading assignments are leveled passages that build reading stamina, accompanied by multiple choice and short constructed questions. These tasks are structured to support closed reading strategies and allow students to highlight and annotate text, as you can see here with our various resource and tools to this left bar. The passages are a mix of informational, text, and fictional. And they cover a wide variety of fun topics, such as this story here. So there are 36 of these passages for each grade level 1 through 8. And then in launching this, though, I can really start to see how would I explicitly teach this. And I've reviewed this, and I think this works perfectly for teaching all about character traits this week. All right, now I don't want to just stick with integrated reading, so I'm going to go back and let's look at an example for applied mathematics. So once again, I'm going to go back to my standards document after I've identified my standard that I want to focus on for the week. And I'm going to launch this standards document for applied mathematics. So here with our applied mathematics, it is differentiated math. So what we're able to see is each problem set, the title, the standard, each problem level. We have all 4 here that are differentiated. And in this document, we're going to be able to identify the prerequisite standard, as well as if there's a secondary standard, and the Khan Academy video. So that's also something that can be embedded in your LMS, and we'll talk about that more later on. For this week, I'm going to focus on standard 5.1, add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators, which is this first one, which works perfect. So I'm going to go back to that instruction tab, and now I'm going to launch this problems to ensure these problems to learn more about them and figure out how can I teach from these differentiated math problems. So here, once I've launched this is what the student will see, and these are each of those, again, differentiated problems. Okay, so progressing is going to be lower numbers, multiple choice, while expanding is going to be larger numbers and extended response. And investigative work is an opportunity for students to really analyze who solved the problem correctly. So that's great. But I'm going to launch just meeting the middle of the road differentiated problem. So these math assignments really are designed for students to engage with a concept at a range of complexity, right, through questions that all gradually increase in the depth of knowledge, but focus on one standard. It's always going to be the same situation, but it's going to be different, like I said, different numbers. And then students are able to show what they know and reflect and show their thinking here on this digital canvas. All right. So I know that this will be an excellent lesson for the week and really cover my standard. All right. So we are going to walk you through how to assign a lesson, a classroom instruction lesson in just a moment. But first, Leona is going to walk us through assigning our custom instruction.
All right, thanks, Jordan. So now that Jordan has chosen her chosen focus for the week, which is going to be fractions for math and character traits for language arts, let's say that we're co-teaching, and now I want to see what the students know about character traits. So I'm going to go with a prerequisite here. So this type of instruction that Jordan is talking about is great for your extra tier 1 support, reteaching, and
Hey, Leona, do you need to be sharing your screen, honey?
Not quite yet.
Okay, sorry.
Yep, getting there. And for prerequisites, our custom instruction is an excellent option for each of these as well. So now that Jordan has assigned the students essentially the main instruction, I would like to come back and see what the students already know and what prior knowledge they have. So I'm going to assign a prerequisite for her character traits lesson. And yes, this is where, Kellen, I can share my screen now. All righty. So we're going to take a moment and learn how to do this with the custom instruction. So I am in the dashboard, and if you'd like to follow along with me in your dashboard, you absolutely can. If not, like I said, these are recorded. So to go to the custom instruction, I'm going to go over to the instruction tab and click on that. And I'm going to go down to create new and click on that. And since our prereq focus is in language arts, I'm going to click on language arts. Being that Jordan assigned a 5th grade lesson, I'm going to go to 4th grade standards and type in character traits, since I know what I'm looking for. I'm going to type in character trait. If ever I want to see the entire standard, I can just hover over the standard like this, and we get this, the standard in this bubble. I click there and go to stated and inferred character traits. From here, I can launch that so I can see what it looks like. If I click on the blue link, it takes me to the lesson that the students will see. Notice it's broken down into 3 to 4 specific parts. We have our mini lesson, we have our activities, we have our quick quiz, and then our projects. And so our mini lesson typically is broken down into about 3 to 5 different sections. This is like our I do part of the program, where the students are taught explicitly about a specific skill, in this case, character traits. Then we have our activity, and I'll show you what our mini lessons look like. When I open this up, it is going to start reading, so just be aware of that. The blue play button will give directions to the student. So if they're not sure what to do and you're not sure what to do, you can click on the blue play button and it will tell them. If I click start.
Character traits are how a character in a story looks, acts, and feels. The author sometimes states descriptive details about the characters to help readers understand them.
Okay, so if the students or you, the teacher, do not want this read to them, you can just go up and right click and mute the site, and now it won't read to them. Notice the three parts. We typically have a learn and apply section where they're applying what they have learned, and then a review section. Our activities are broken up into question and answers, and they're interactive games here. So if you see the students playing games, that is correct. They are supposed to be doing that. This is like our we do portion of the program. The students will be working on the assignment, they will be graded on the assignment, and they will receive feedback as they are working. Then they have our quick quiz, which is kind of the you do of the program. The quick quiz are 10 straightforward questions, just like you give a quiz in your classroom. And this quiz is checking for mastery of the skill. So the score that the students receive on the quick quiz will then become the score that they receive on the assignment. And then there are projects, which are principal resources for you, the teacher, to supplement what the student is doing. Once you decide that this is the lesson that you want, you can go over to up under your name and click on embed and share. And from here, Jordan will take it back to show you how to embed and share this lesson into your LMS once it's chosen. Jordan, I'm going to flip this back over to you. All right.
Thanks, Leona. And I really love that idea of using custom instruction as a prerequisite, especially, with students being out, in the spring. That's a great opportunity for students to re-engage with a standard from last year. All right. And so, as Leona said, now let's get it uploaded in your LMS. Remember, we work with your LMS. We work with all learning management systems. Today, we are just going to focus, though, on Google Classroom and Schoology, but we'll really talk you through if those are if that is not your learning management system, how you would still go ahead and embed that. So we're going to start with Google Classroom. And what's really unique about Google Classroom is that it can be embedded directly from Classworks, right? So just as, we double check that this is the right unit, unit of instruction we'd like to assign, we can now embed and share right into Google Classroom. So as a prerequisite, I'm going to click embed and share on the right side. And over here on the right side, you're going to click embed and share and follow the Google Classroom links here. All right. And once that loads, then now it looks just similar to your classroom, your Google Classroom interface. So I'm going to assign it to my class, and I want to create an assignment because that's a material. So I'm going to click, I'm going to assign it because it has a due date. I apologize. And here I want to change the title. I want to write complete first, so my students know that this is the prerequisite, right? I want them to do this before the other instruction that's been embedded in the in Google Classroom. And next you have an option for instructions. I really encourage being very explicit here on, what information do they need to know, what resources may be available. So really be explicit here with your instructions. I know it says optional, but students always like to have that direction. And then you can also see the exact practice that has been linked below. And on the right side, then you think through logistics. So specifically, it's very easy to assign whole group or individual students in Google Classroom. Since this is a prerequisite, I'm going to only assign it to the students that I know need that additional support. Kellen is our all-star, so she does not need that extra support. So down below, I do want a due date, which will be next Friday. with the complete time at the end of the day. And I did create a topic. Most LMSs have ways to organize, such as topics, as Google Classroom, or folders. It's really helpful to organize all of your instructional units on that one specific standard. So I'm going to launch it here in character traits. And then I click assign. And after I assign it, it does actually say, it's been posted to your class, do I want to view it? And I do want to view it. So get this back over here. All right. So now I can see right here, I have assigned, have a new assignment, complete this first, and I can also double check in my classwork tab that it has been assigned. See, that wasn't too hard. So once again, it's up in the top right-hand corner, and you can just click embed and share. All right, let's switch gears now and look at Schoology. All right, so now we're on a different LMS where you search for content directly in the management system. Okay, so for today, again, we're looking at Schoology, but what's important to note here is that even though this may not be your management system, Classworks is always an external tool when creating a new assignment. Okay, so, it's just an integration where you can have access to all of those instructional units and classroom instruction that we just showed you. So I've already made a folder called fractions here. So I'll be uploading my assignment directly here on fractions, okay? So I'm gonna click add materials, add file or external tool. Again, external tool. And up here, the tool provider, it's gonna be Classworks. So even though it doesn't have a star by it, that is what needs to be changed so we can search for that content. And the title, all right? And then for the custom parameters, I'm gonna put in the directions here for students to know exactly how to complete this. And I want it to grade because that's a great feature of an LMS. And we'll talk about benefits in just a moment. So let's do next Friday. And again, this category is going to be introduction of skills. Again, helping organize and group instruction. And then press submit. Now what we've done is we've created a shell for instruction, but we haven't actually searched for any instruction yet. So down below, I want to launch this shell. And just as when I launched Embed and Share in Google Classroom in Classworks, it's turned into looking like Google Classroom, and now it looks like Classworks. So here you can select a subject. These first two, language arts and math, are going to be those custom instruction, those units that Leona just showed us. And then integrated reading, applied math, and science is our classroom instruction. So I'm going to look for applied mathematics. I'm going to search 5th grade, and it's unit 1. And I can even launch it if I'd like directly here, but I'm going to just press plus, and then it's been added. So I can double check that it has been added by going back and seeing down below. So really great. So now let's really, we talked about how the next grade, like that instruction is just one piece of your LMS, right? But you can also embed all of your various instructional resources, upload what you use in class. So here are just a few suggestions that we have when that may help you when thinking about creating a high quality lesson in your LMS and how can I really build that out to be effective. So first, record a mini lesson of you or close reading and upload it. It's really nice for students to, be able to see your face and your instructional teaching versus just a Khan Academy video or a video from Google or YouTube, because students really want to get to know you, right, and continue to foster that community that you generally have in your class in a normal school year. And you can just use your regular communication platforms such as Zoom or Google Classroom. Another great helpful resource to use are anchor charts and visuals. This is such a handy resource to be able to have a plethora of information just concise into one place. I know I personally had anchor charts all over my classroom, so I could just take a picture of this, or if I want it to be digital, I could download one from Pinterest or Teachers Pay Teachers, wherever you go to get those. But you just add those as materials very easily up here where it says add materials. Now let's look at various resources in Google Classroom. So, and of course, these can both be added to either or. I just kind of want to show you how it looks differently in both of them. So another great suggestion to build out your LMS is going to be those additional instructional tools or resources such as worksheets and homework. Here in Google Classroom, it's really easy to make editable worksheets. So you can actually turn PDFs or, different downloaded worksheets into a PDF by using Google from a PDF to a version where students can submit work. It's a very simple process. All you have to do is YouTube it, of course, but it's really neat. And this has actually been assigned to every student in my class. So it has become an assignment that I can grade. Here I used a Classworks project. So at the bottom of our units, we have various projects. So that's a great use to continue with that instructional piece. All right. And then additionally, you can link other resources such as our Classworks resource, 100grid.classworks.com. And this is excellent for students who are working with 100 grids. It can increase in numbers. And I just search 100grid.classworks.com and embedded it right into Google Classroom.
All right, sounds great. I'm so excited for all of the things you'll be able to do and all of the resources you'll be able to upload into your LMS. And there are so many benefits to utilizing technology and making it work for your teaching. So let's review. You have access to all of your instructional tools, both at home and at school. Student equity is so important. And with an LMS, you have access to tools used in class and at home. And that's super convenient. Classworks is all web-based and can be used on any device that has internet, so there's no stress there. And it creates a streamlined process. Parents, students, and you, the teacher, have just one place to go for assignments, communication, and resources. And communication is key. Your LMS offers multiple ways to communicate, such as whole group discussions and individual feedback on assignments. Keep your students excited and eager to learn. One suggestion is to use our bulletin board kit. Once downloaded, you can upload images directly onto streams and discussion boards to congratulate them as they are being successful in the program. Jordan will show you a little bit more on this in a few seconds. Both of these truly help build a community and allow each person in the class to have a voice and to get to know each other. It also helps to bridge the gap from school to hybrid learning. For example, your small group students, your group that's in the classroom can be paired with your group that's not working in the classroom. So everybody has equity and feel like they're part of a learning assignment. Jordan?
Yeah, and the last benefit I want to talk about is automatic grading, right? It's our LMSs are really helpful for keeping all of our students' information safe and secure. And I just saw actually this question come into chat, which is great. So we do want to pause here and really reflect on how students submit their work. So when a student launches a instructional unit, it will come up in a new tab, in their web browser. So it's not in Schoology or Google Classroom. It's not in Classworks. It's in its own URL. And so when they're completed, they are going to receive a results page where they're going to explicitly see everything that's been done within that instructional problem or unit with stars, and students have to submit that score, right? Because it's not living in either. Students are going to have to turn it back in just like they turn in, a piece of paper. So here you can see that students will submit scores with the green button. If they don't submit it, then there's not going to be anything to grade within the LMS. So we have a few different resources that Kelly is going to share in chat. One, for Google Classroom, we have a student tutorial of exactly how to submit work via Google Classroom. And then we have Jerry and Melissa did a video on Schoology that covers all of exactly what we covered today, but we'll also have a component explicitly of Jerry walking you through how students will submit their work. But again, it's submitting this button. If really set that expectation and show them the directions on how to do that so that students, this doesn't become just busy work, right? We want this to be graded. We want this to be impactful for your students.
All right, so no more stacks of paper to grade. Sounds good to me. So let's recap what we have learned today. Today, we have learned what type of instruction can make your lessons high quality. We've learned how to create and add the instruction to your LMS, such as Google Classroom. And we've learned what additional resources can be added to create high quality instruction in your LMS as well. Before you go, we want to be sure that you know where to go to find help.
I apologize.
Oh.
What just happened? There we go.
So you want to make sure that you have bookmarked help.classworks.com. And this is our knowledge base. This is our online knowledge base, and it has thorough articles and how-tos for successful implementation. If you're unfamiliar with anything, such as our bulletin board kit, you can search for it there in our help.classworks.com. If you search a keyword, all articles and resources for that word will populate. Jordan's going to show you there. You type in bulletin board kit, everything we have about the bulletin board kit will come up, and then you're able to download and upload what you need to print out for the students and make that learning more just more fun for them as they compete for the badges and shields. Also, subscribe to our blog at the bottom of our website. That's www.classworks.com. Right below all of our links, we have all of our social media handles there, and you can subscribe to our YouTube page as well.
So just search classworks.com, and down at the bottom, you have blog and social media. All right, and that is all we have for you today. We hope you all enjoyed it. Kellen has a few bits of information for y'all as we wrap up our session.
Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm going to put, I want to make sure everyone has gotten checked in. So definitely make sure to click on that check-in link so you can be registered for our daily giveaways and to get your passport stamped. I'll put that back in once again. Also, we are starting our All-Star contest on November 1st. Well, I guess technically November 2nd, since the 1st is on this Sunday. But it really aligns to this session because the beauty of the All-Star contest, you don't have to just work in within Classworks. If you're working in your LMS, it will still all those grades and all that will go towards the All-Star contest. But that's also where you have to make sure to those kids are hitting submit so they can be counted. The All-Star, this is our 10th year doing the All-Star contest, so very exciting. The top 500 Classworks students with the highest time on task and at least 80% mastery will receive a special prize at the end. And then, of course, we also have a lot of incentives for a teacher. We have a teacher contest to incentivize their students. We are doing a social media contest. So we really want to get all of our teachers and students excited for the All-Star contest. I'm going to put in the chat our website URL so you can see all the details for that contest. And we're looking forward to starting it. It's always a really fun time of year. I think that's all I have. This was a really great session. Again, the recording will be posted once our virtual summit has ended. We'd love to stay on for a few minutes. If anyone has any questions, you can unmute yourself and chat with us, or you can stay and chat and talk to us there. Also, remember, if you want some more, like some one-on-one time, feel free to set up a Classworks Connect session. I can put that in the chat as well. The Connect sessions are fabulous, and they're open to any customers, and you can pick whatever time that you would like to talk, any topic that you have questions on. I'll put that in here now. Am I missing anything, Jordan or Leona?
Nope, you got it.
Yeah. And here's our schedule for this upcoming week as well. We have a lot of great sessions in the second week of our fall virtual PD. It's really cool that, even though as much as we would love to all be together, but it's neat that we get to have so many of our customers from all across the country join these sessions. So definitely join us the next end of this week. And we're excited for us to continue to learn and work together. All right. Well, if there aren't any questions, hop off. Thank you all so much and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.